Today we'll be making candied strawberries without corn syrup. For this recipe, you'll need strawberries, sugar, and some toothpicks. And if you're new here, I'm Maggie, this is No Frills Kitchen, where I teach you how to cook with confidence with nothing fancy required. To begin, spear some strawberries with some toothpicks through the stem end. Insert the toothpick about halfway through the berry. You just don't want it falling off when you end up dipping it into hot syrup. Also, put a dish of cold water and a pastry brush next to your stove and line a baking sheet with some parchment paper to serve as a landing area after you dip your strawberries. Now, moving to the stovetop, add some sugar to a heavy bottom saucepan. To ensure the highest likelihood of success, I recommend using caster sugar, also called superfine sugar, over regular granulated sugar. The finer granules dissolve more easily, making it less likely that you will have crystals that will ruin your sugar syrup. Pour a bit of water over the sugar and set it over medium-low heat. Stirring constantly with a heat-proof spatula, gently dissolve the sugar. It's essential that the sugar is completely dissolved before the syrup comes to a boil, so don't be afraid to remove the pan from the heat if you're worried that the syrup is heating up too quickly. This is the same method I use in something like my hard candy recipe. It's better to go slowly with this step and ensure everything is dissolved than to rush and then ruin your syrup and have to start over. If the syrup begins to boil before the sugar is dissolved, a single crystal can cause a chain reaction that will cause your entire syrup to seize and crystallize, and there is no way you can fix it after this happens. After your sugar is dissolved, and as soon as you begin to see bubbles forming on the bottom of your pan, stop stirring and dip the pastry brush in your water. Wash down the sides of the pan to ensure there are no sugar crystals collecting there. Without stirring now, allow your sugar syrup to boil away until it reaches a temperature of 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius. You can use a Candied thermometer for this, or check periodically with an instant read thermometer. If you want to make this without a thermometer, just keep a dish of ice water next to the stove and periodically add a drop of your syrup into it. When the syrup instantly cools to a brittle, hard consistency, it's ready to remove from the heat. Once you've reached the right temperature, which is known as the hard crack stage in candy making, immediately remove the syrup from the heat and allow the bubbles to settle for a few seconds. Then, holding the strawberry by the toothpick, dip each one into the syrup until it's coated. Allow the excess syrup to drip off into the pan before setting it on the prepared parchment paper. Allow the strawberries to cool for a few minutes until the candy is hard and shiny. Then, eat and enjoy. You're going to want to eat these within about an hour of dipping them, as they will begin to weep and degrade after that. And if you found this recipe helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next videos. Enjoy!